Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let me grab um, my stuff here so that I can see what's going on. And when you get here, make sure you say good morning. See what's going on. Let's say there we go. I'm gonna put that there. And now I'm trying to get some housekeeping things done. I I took a moment because it was like, oh, I'm about to go live. I better go to the restroom. So I dashed. I know that's TMI, but that's the facts, right? So good morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It's good morning, Stacy. I see you popped in. Make sure you say hello in the comments. Good morning. Good morning. It's so great to see you here. So today I am so excited to share a new affirmation and journal prompt for the day. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kimmy. All right, so let me share real quick. And let's see. All right. The affirmation for today. Every breath I take is an opportunity to appreciate the miracles surrounding me. The magic of miracles, miracles of magic. Beautiful, right? And so that's something that we talk about quite a bit. Like I tell you, if you wake up in the morning and you can open your eyes and you can take a breath, it's a day that is beautiful and it's time to appreciate that, right? And so this is every breath I take is an opportunity to appreciate the miracles surrounding me because they're everywhere. Like we've talked about, they're all around us. It's just most of the time we're not focused on them. And so, like I've said before, and I know I say that a lot, what don't I? I was just watching the live from yesterday and you popped up live. Oh, beautiful. And I will say, I felt like I was off my game yesterday because I was tired. I had been busy since 8 o'clock in the morning and hadn't even had anything to eat. And so it was like, I felt like when I got off, I thought, what the hell did I even say? So it was one of those days. So hopefully it translated well. But the thing that is important is to remember that miracles are all around us all the time and we're not focused on them. So they are just outside of our zone of what we can comprehend or our, like I said, our focus. And we are looking through our lens of the world by the things that have happened to us in our past, and that really holds us back a lot of times from being able to experience miracles. And so this is asking you that every breath you take, that's the opportunity to appreciate the miracles surrounding you. And when you look at it that way, it's like the breath you take is a miracle, right? But what else are miracles around us that are around us all the time? It can be the ability to be here. That's a miracle, right? I mean, without somebody having this need to without. All right, let me back up a second. If COVID hadn't happened, and I know it's not a great thing, but without it, would we be here right now? Probably not, because people didn't do this as much then, because during COVID, we got so put into our little place of we couldn't go and we couldn't do. So we reached out in this way. And it became such a miracle thing that we were able to reach out and talk to people all over the world, that now that is our normal, right? And we do Zoom like this, like it's and this is StreamYard, but before COVID, you didn't do this in this way. It's like everything that we are having in our experience right now came from a need that someone had to feel. And so anytime you start feeling a little bit of angst because you really want things to be different about some time, to appreciate that you have the opportunity to change that if you choose to. And so, like I said, everything that has come about technology wise, we'll just talk about technology because I'm not as skilled on all the stuff of, because there's the Industrial Revolution, there's the, I don't know. I I can't speak on that. But each one of the things that has happened in history, they changed because somebody had an idea, but usually ideas don't come from, I'm in a blissful state and I don't need anything, right? Ideas and inspirations come from a need that you have or someone else has, and you're feeling that need. So, this is the thing to me is that when you start seeing things that come up as being not an obstacle, but an opportunity to maybe make a difference, to maybe make some kind of change. Because I think I watched part of your live yesterday. I haven't seen the whole thing. I apologize, Stacy. But in the live, she said that she had a question that had been asked. And so she knew if one person was asking the question, somebody else was asking the question too. So she was going in and answering the question. And so it's that way too, if you think about it. If there's something that's happening to you that you need a solution for, there's somebody else that wants a solution. Now, this doesn't sound like it goes with this affirmation at all, but let me share, okay? There was a time, many years ago, that I would buy the liquid laundry detergent, right? And I know this probably sounds so strange, but anyway, I would buy the liquid laundry detergent, and it was a big container, and it had a plastic cap on it, but it had a little button where the stuff would come out, right? But the way it sat, it would leak all the time, and then when you put the cap that you put the stuff in back on, that would leak out. And I remember thinking there has got to be a different way. But if I put it up a different, raise it a different way and put the spout over here, and then so I decided I would get a smaller thing instead of the really big thing. And it was the same way, because you pour the detergent in the cap, and then when you put the cap back on, the liquid that was left in the cap bleeds down the side. And I kept thinking there's got to be something better. And then lo and behold, someone else invented the cap that when you put the cap back on, that liquid goes back into the container. And so you see, there was if I had that angst, other people did too. But somebody was smart enough to say, wait a minute, if everybody or a lot of people are needing this, then let's put our thinking caps on and see how we can do it. Simple fix, right? But that's the way obstacles are. They're put there to change things. And so you make a choice. Do I let it continue to be an obstacle, or do I look for a solution? And the thing is, you cannot find a solution while you're engrossed in the obstacle. You have to step aside, and then you can look at it as the opportunities going forward, right? Because that would be a miracle in itself, to suddenly have the ability to look at an obstacle that shows up in your life as an opportunity to grow, to create, to help others. Isn't that a miracle in itself? So just think about it. So every breath, such a good point. Step outside and look at it as opportunities. Your lens changes beautifully. Yes, yes. I love that, Stacy. Thank you for sharing that. And sometimes it just takes somebody saying something that helps you see the lens a little bit differently, helps you change the perspective. And like I've said many times before too, and so many people have, you can think about changing that lens and then do nothing, and nothing changes. And so one of the things that I want you to think about is when something comes up that is what you perceive in the moment as an obstacle, and you can look at it as an opportunity, just start writing out, the name of the obstacle and all the opportunities that could possibly come from it. And then Do something, any one thing. It doesn't have to be big. Like say, oh, I'm trying to think of what one would be. Um, oh, does anybody have any suggestion on an obstacle that maybe they have recently had that if you look at it as an opportunity, what would that have been? How would that have been for you? So I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and all of a sudden nothing's coming to me. So I'm asking you guys to help me out here. So something that you felt like was an obstacle, and then there was something that you could do to make it translate as an opportunity for growth or for expanding your horizons or helping someone else. Is there something there that you can share? So I'm going to wait just a moment while I get my thinking cap going. I'm thinking. Okay, I've got one. Oh, it's too early here. I can't think either. Well, I've been up for a while because it's later here. It's been one of those mornings where it was like I wanted to sleep late, but the cats needed to be fed. So I got up, and then it's like I just want to leisurely do everything until I get to my live, and then I've got a list of things to do today. But what came up for me was I have had this thing where um, I do hypnosis. And when I do hypnosis, I'm also a transformational coach. So a lot of times the conversation before the hypnosis session can be up to an hour just trying to dig under the things that people are saying they want, and how can we affect their subconscious mind with a different idea, right? And so yesterday I had a hypnosis client that is always a man that's in a rush, right? And he reminds me of my uncle. And I was sharing with someone this morning. He reminds me of my uncle, the one that I talk about is my was my mentor, and he's since passed away. But he was a businessman, and he was wealthy. He had all these businesses, and he was just amazing. But he was always the man that was let's get to it. Don't waste time, kind of thing. And that's what this gentleman reminded me of, was him. And so I felt this connection with him, and this was actually our first actual session. And the thing that is interesting is that the obstacle was when he sat down in front of me, he said, well, I only have this much time, and we've got to be done by then. And all of a sudden I thought, whew, that's not enough time. And so then I had to think about it for a moment. So I just kind of, without him even realizing it, I closed my eyes for a second and I said, okay, this is the time I'm allotted, and this is going to work. And so we had a shorter conversation. I was still able to dig into some of the things that he needed, and then have the hypnosis session, and I got it done in the hour. So the obstacle was that I had very little time to do this. It was like half the time that I normally do. But the thing that came out of it was that I realized that maybe for some people, it's just as effective to have less time in the coaching part of it and then go more into the hypnosis. So that won't be true for everybody, because that's one of the things I love about doing this, is that I can make choices depending on who the person is and what their expectations are and what their needs are. And so that's my example of, off the top of my hat, that helps me to see it through a different lens. All right. All right. So let me get to the journal prompt. All right. So today, and I want you can write about yesterday, or you can save this and write about it this evening. Whatever your time zone is, I don't know. Good morning. Blessed Sunday to you too, Lynn. The journal prompt is, what was one ordinary moment today that felt unexpectedly magical? And then why? Doesn't that feel delicious? An unexpected magical moment. I love those, right? And they happen all the time. It's just we're not focused. So, this is our month of magic, focusing on the magic and the moment of every single day and the things that show up for you, the inspirations that you get, the people that reach out to you, all the things that come together to bring this magic to you. It's really, really amazing when you really focus on it. And so I promise you, if you focus on this magic all month long, like this is our April is magical month. Why? I don't know. It just started that way, and that's where we're going. But I promise you, if you do your affirmations and your journal prompts every single day, all month long, all month, you're going to find some different magical things that you wouldn't have seen before. And then you're going to be shocked when you get into May 1st and you look back at April and you see all the things that came about, all the little synchronicities of people that you've talked to that you might not have ever met if you hadn't been open, right? So, this is being open and aware and being a magnet, bringing in this magical stuff to us, right? It is such a blessing to be able to share with you guys. And that creates more magic in my life because I'm helping you to create magic in yours. And like I've said before, the vibration of you guys being here feels good to me. And I love having you here live um, and and communicating with me. It is just such an amazing feeling. And it feels like magic to me just being here with you. I'm so glad today, Stacy. I love Magic Month too. And so the thing is that we are all going to be so blown away with the magic with everybody. And that's one of the things I want to really dig in and enforce. You have to be paying attention to the magic. You have to be looking for the magic. And remember, whatever we look for, we find, right? So if we're looking for things to go wrong, they'll go wrong. That's just the nature of the law of attraction. That's a nature of vibration. Now, whether you believe in the law of attraction or not is irrelevant. It happens, right? So whatever you're feeling and doing, because I've talked about it before, we stretch our arms out. The end of our fingertips is where our vibration typically goes, right? That's our field where people can feel who we are and we can feel other people's vibration. And it's amazing when you test that and somebody steps within that space of your field, right? That's your personal space. When somebody steps into it, you can feel it. And then it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. And then they come in a little further into your space. And if their vibration is way off, it's going to be off putting like crazy. I don't know if you've had that experience, but I want you to think back to a time that somebody walked up and they didn't even have to get that close to you, but they were like with an arm's reach out. And you could feel that, I don't really like them. And you don't even know them. But it's because their vibration and your vibration were battling against each other because they were not anywhere near the same. And so think about how you're putting your vibration out. Do you want to meet people that are just like you? Make sure you're the person that they would want to meet too, right? Because it all comes from within. We're changing our perspective of us and our vibration all the time. And so, like I said yesterday, at least I think I said it yesterday, nothing stays the same. Everything changes. It's a constant. That's the constant thing in life is change. And so you're either changing on purpose and creating what you want in life, or you're changing by default. So it's like being out in the ocean in a boat, and you have no engine, no sails, no anything. You're just out there at the whim of the waves. And when somebody comes by, they take you that way. And if you just sit there and there's no movement, you stay there and you don't move, but just a little bit, right? And so you get to choose. And the way that you choose is by beginning to create these ordinary moments that felt like unexpected magic. We all the time are bringing to us what we focus on. Our vibration is here, right? And so just think about it. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to attract? Because who you are or who you think you are the types of vibrations that are going to come toward you. And so if you don't like what's showing up in your life, the people, the things, then it's time to look inside and say, I choose the magic. And then go ahead, start every single day. This month, you put out your affirmation on your index cards, your sticky notes. You put it on your screensaver on your phone, on your mirror with a chalk marker, on your refrigerator. I don't care. Put it somewhere so that you see it, right? And then your journal prompt, you put it in your journal or a notebook, and you put the date at the top, and you put the affirmation in the journal prompt there. And then you take the time to go into silence, because this is where you're magical, right? Is when you can take the time to be in silence. So even if you're a person that seems so friggin' busy that you don't have time to do that, let's face it, you go to the bathroom several times a day, right? So you can take the time when you go to the bathroom, whether you're there using the bathroom or whether you're taking a shower or you're washing your hands, whatever it is you're doing in there, just stop and take a few moments to be in silence and let your mind think. Let your body tell you something. Get in tune with who you are. And then you journal, because you can come up with so much magic when you journal if you've taken a few moments of silence. And it doesn't sound like it's that big a deal, but when you haven't taken that moment of silence, all the chatter that's going on in your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, and it's usually battling like crazy, you're going to come up with some things so much more productive when you take a few moments. So what I like to do is when I get my journal out, I just put it down in front of me and I put my hands in my lap and I just take a few breaths. I let the journal prompt go around in my head. And then I start writing. So it's inviting in more and more ability to see the magic. So like I said, the journal prompt today is what was one ordinary moment today that felt unexpectedly magical, and why. And so if you're going to do this evening, then maybe it would be really beneficial to have a piece of paper. And I keep a little mini notebook in my purse a lot of times that well, it's there all the time. Sometimes I don't bring it out. I'll be honest. But you take a little piece of paper, and every time something magical catches your attention, write it down, so that in the evening you've got a list already, and then you can look back at a perspective in the evening, and maybe you've got more, maybe you want to expand on those. But do this for you so that you're changing, you're doing it on purpose, not by default, right? And so there was something else that just popped in my head I was going to say. Let me see if I can bring it back. What was it? All of a sudden, it's out of my head. So obviously it wasn't something I was supposed to say. Oh, I know what it was. If you're watching this in one of the other places that I stream this out, because this is the Make Lasting Change group. Oh, and they're so wonderful. I love the community. And just as a reminder to my community people, make sure you're going in the group today and you're posting your magical moment for the day, anything for the week. Make sure you're doing it today because tomorrow's Monday and we're going to celebrate all the amazing things that people have been posting. And so I really want to be able to celebrate you because remember, the thing I said was if you want to have this magical month, every single day, you do your journal prompt, your affirmation, and you don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but just do it. But then also go into the group and share something, even if all you say is, it's a magical month. I love magical months. I love magic. I'm doing the magic. I don't care. But by posting in there, you are actually letting your subconscious mind know that this is what you're focused on, even more so than just doing the affirmation in the journal prompt. It's just one little tiny step. Yet, doing that every day for this month, you are going to even be more blown away with the magic that shows up every day. Own it, claim it, right? So it's up to you. How much magic do you want to find this month? I want it all. I want everything that's possible for me. I hope you do too. And so that's some of the ways that you do it. So now back to the people that are streaming. I got sidetracked. The people that are getting this from the different streaming places that I have this going out to. If you would like to be part of the Make Lasting Change group, because our Monday is 2 p.m. Eastern. And what we do in there is that we celebrate the activity of the group. We celebrate certain people that have really been pouring in to the community, and we celebrate the community itself. We learn, we grow, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so, if you want to be part of that group and share this community support and I can't even say enough about it. It is just so amazing. But if you want to be part of it, you go to VickyPoole.com. That's VICKIEPOOLE.com. And then you ask to join the group. And then you'll be prompted with some questions. And in order to get in the group, you have to answer the questions because that is a hard, fast rule that protects the group. Because if you are not going to answer the questions, you're probably not the right person to be in the group. Because we only want people that are going to be there in the community and supporting others, just being contributors to the community. And so if that's you, then make sure you go to VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and then we will welcome you with open arms because we've got some founding members in there. We've got some new members. So it's an amazing collective of people and the energy is off the chain. I love it. I love it. And so let me see. What else was I going to say? I wanted to remind too, just in case you're not aware, that Wednesday in the group Make Lasting Change, we have a special guest, Darcy Volden, and she is going to be talking to us about manifestation magic. And so it's very fitting for this month. And then we have another person that's going to be talking about manifestation as well later in the month. So it's just perfectly set for this magical month, right? Because so be there. Let's see, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. She's going to be live in the group. And so I'm super excited, and please be there to help support her because she's taking the time away from her evening to share into you guys. And I want to make sure that as many people as possible are there to support her in asking questions, giving the opinions and Just be there to absorb the energy. Remember, we are all energetical beings, and you're getting my vibration and I'm receiving yours. And so I'm sending out the magical vibration of today. So let me go back. Where is the affirmation? Here we go. The affirmation is every breath I take is an opportunity to appreciate the miracles surrounding me. Whew. Doesn't that feel good, right? Every breath I take is an opportunity to appreciate the miracles surrounding me. Oof. And then the journal prompt. What was one ordinary moment today that felt unexpectedly magical, and why? So, affirmations, journal prompts, posting in the group, that's going to be part of your magic, and bring it in. And these are the actions that bring it in. Create that magnetical pull. Is that a word? Magnetic pull. That magnetic pull that brings it all to you. And if you want to have the most magical month, these are what you need to do. And that is your choice to do or not to do. But that's how the magic happens. So you decide. Do you want to have the most magical month that you've had in a very, very long time? And if so, do that. Affirmation, journal prop, posting in the group. And let's just see what all shows up for all of us, right? Because it's all within our control. All right. So I am ready for more magic all through my day, and I hope you are too. And I will see you tomorrow for our celebration in the group at 2 p.m. Eastern, and be there. And before I forget, anybody that's watching the replay, put hashtag replay and share with me anything that is magical that is happening. And one of the things that I had asked is, what was it? I already forgot what my question was earlier. An obstacle thing that you might have had that turned out that it was actually something that would help you see something, a solution. And maybe that's something that you did for yourself or you were able to do for someone else. So if you're watching the replay, answer that question, hashtag replay. And I can't wait to see what everybody has to say. And you have a very, very blessed day full of magic and miracles. Mwah.